Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? Welcome to a brand new Starfield news video. So, just a quick one today, as it looks like somebody over on Reddit, and also here on YouTube to be fair, has managed to discover the ins and outs of the smartwatch that would appear to be in the upcoming Collector's Edition of Starfield. So, an interesting bit of news, bit of a kind of a leak stroke discovery, this one. So, let's jump in and take a little look, shall we? Okay, so yeah, we have a little bit of information on Reddit coming from a user called SquiddyVon, who also has a YouTube video. I'm going to link the stuff down below if you want to find these places yourselves. We'll go through it fairly quickly, won't deep dive too much into it. But for a little background, so a while ago we found out that there's probably going to be a smartwatch as the Collector's Edition item for Starfield. We know they've done loads of things like this in the past. They've done power armor helmets, Pip-Boys, and things like that. Helmets from Doom as well. And it looks like Starfield's getting a smartwatch for that, and it looks to be a fully functional one, and, you know, basically does everything you'd expect of a smartwatch, which is really cool. I'm going to leave that to you guys to interpret a little bit better than I can, as I've never actually owned one, so there we go. But, yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'm going to have a look at some pictures, and as I say, I'll show you the Reddit post here, and I will link it below if you want to check it out for yourselves, but it's always worth saying that we're not entirely 100% sure right now that this actually is the Collector's Edition item. It looks like it probably is, but until such things are announced, maybe take with a pinch of salt just to be on the safe side, you know? But it does look like semi-official stuff. It's pre-release sort of versions of the manual and stuff like that. It's very cool. And some cool shots in there of the thing, which looks like it's going to be pretty sweet and is definitely in keeping with that Starfield vibe. So we also know that it would appear in the game Starfield that your character will have a kind of smartwatch that will monitor things like their oxygen level and things like that. I'm guessing that will be part of the UI user experience thing. We'll see exactly how that manifests when the game comes out, when we see a bit more footage, probably in the summer. But yeah, that seems like a cool idea. Not quite sure how that sort of thing would work in the context of inventory management, if it's going to fall into a similar category to, say, the Pip-Boy in Fallout. But I guess Bethesda will figure out some way of making that work. There's plenty of ways it could be done. And it'd be interesting to see how they do that. So let's have a look at this Reddit post. So, yeah. Here we go. So this is SquiddyVon's post. It's actually from quite a while back now, 19 hours ago. And it's actually been reported in a couple of media outlets as well, which is really, really cool. So this is our first picture of the watch. It's coming out of the draft version of the user manual, which is quite cool. So it's probably about as official as we can get. It's also being made by the Wand Company or something like that. I forget the exact name, but something to that effect, who've made Pip-Boys in the past. I don't believe they were involved in the whole 76 special editions thing, but let's not go into that. But I don't believe they were involved in that. But yeah, it's looking like quite a cool product. They've done some cool products in the past, like I say, Pip-Boys and the like, and apparently they have a portfolio that includes other smartwatches as well that are tied into different properties and franchises and stuff as well. So looks like a reasonably good bet of a company to be making this thing, which is cool. So yeah, just having a look at this picture first. Looks like a fairly standard smartwatch in the style of Starfield, obviously with all those branding and styling on it, which is pretty darn cool. Looks quite nice. There's stuff on sunrise and sunset. Obviously, it tells time, funnily enough. There's stuff for like tracking your footsteps, and there's weather apps and stuff that presumably connects to your phone via Bluetooth, it looks like. Don't know how standard that is or is not, as I say. Never owned one, but looks fairly cool. Just looking at the pictures, it looks pretty solid. We've got a date on there and stuff. You can see this is, I think, the footstep counter. It's, from what I saw when I looked briefly at the PDF of the manual myself, this is sort of measuring your progress through whatever your set number of steps for the day is in a percentage. And I'm guessing the little dude here will move around as you progress through the day. So it's quite cool. Obviously, the clock's around the outside, and we've got some other functions down below. I think this, from what I read, this little bar here is going to be the battery indicator, and then a Bluetooth connectivity indicator just beneath it. So, yeah, fairly cool. Definitely looks very stylish. And we see over here we've got Starfield logo right in the middle, as well as Chronomark thing, which is obviously featured in the trailer and other stuff as well. So, pretty solid, reliable looking thing here. So, yeah, a load of different pictures. That's what it looks like when it's switched off. Apparently there are buttons on the side. I'm guessing it's sort of here and here, and presumably down here as well. Can't really see too clearly, but interesting nonetheless. Yep, there's one of the other screens. Clearly somebody's got no messages at the moment. I'm guessing it's not even connected to a phone. That's probably why. There we go. This is some of the temperature stuff and humidity we've got on there, likelihood of precipitation, the percentage chance it's going to rain on you. I mean, you can always look up, that does the job, but, you know. But yeah, that's quite cool. It's also got a day ahead on there as well. Obviously, it's a smartwatch, it's not that big, so there's only so much information they're going to cram into the screen before it gets really untidy and unreadable. So, yeah, that does look quite cool. Obviously, load more information about it there. There was some stuff in the user manual that suggested that things like your body temperature and the like, and the temperature actually of the watch itself as the battery heats up, and the more work it does, the warmer it gets, stuff like that, might actually throw off the temperature reading. So, I don't know if this is something they're working on improving before it launches, or if that's an issue, but it looks like a thing anyway. So, something to be aware of. Either way, at the very least, it would look really nice on the shelf if I were to pick one up. They usually go at about £200 or so, UK, these special editions, so that could be consistent, or it might even be higher. I don't know how much having something like a smartwatch in there might affect the price, so yeah, it could jump up a fair bit. And this last one's quite interesting because we've got copyrights from Bethesda on there, obviously for the Starfield branding and stuff. That's quite cool, as well as all the settings menus there too. And there's another slightly strange blank whited out one, which is fairly cool. So there's loads of comments down here below as well about people's thoughts and ideas and things they like and things they don't and stuff. And we find Squiddy Von's other post a little bit further down that's got a link to the manual and to the YouTube video on it as well, which is probably worth a look. I definitely suggest you check it out, as this particular individual has done the hard work on here. And actually, from the sound of things, it was not that remarkably hard. It was just a simple bit of Googling, apparently. But kudos nonetheless. There's also another update more recently, a couple of hours ago, showing a couple of extra pictures, giving you an idea of this sort of diameter of the size of the thing. We've got a set square in here, giving us a little picture of what this actually looks like. So, yeah, looks good. I'm guessing, obviously, this is going to be a prototype version as opposed to the final version, so maybe the final will have a little bit more polish to it in its appearance, but looks cool nonetheless. Obviously, photo quality is another thing. We've got to look at sort of charging devices and the strap as well. It's a very plasticky looking strap. I don't know if that's going to be a case of that's the strap that will come with it, or this is just a temporary sort of thing for a prototype model. I wouldn't be surprised if it is the one that comes with it, but it does look like a standard strap attachment, so if one were to want to upgrade that, it looks like a viable option. There's the back surface of it, complete with the logo there. Very, very nice. Yeah, decent. Yeah, it doesn't look too chunky either. Ah, here are the buttons. Okay, you can actually see it a bit clearer now. We're actually on the sides on the white bit. Okay, makes a bit more sense. Yeah, it looks like a reasonable size for a smartwatch. And not quite sure what this last one is. I think it's something about the battery size on it, maybe. And yeah, it looks like that would just about fit inside. It looks like it take up most of the space behind, but that seems reasonable, given that they want to cram as much battery life into it as they can, realistically. But yeah, and this is a separate post, as I say. It's got sort of other PDFs from the course of development of the thing on there. So, quite cool, all in all. So yeah, definitely an interesting looking little bit of tech, if for those of you who are into smartwatches and the like. Personally, I quite like watches myself, but I've never actually had a smartwatch, and seeing as I spend most of my time working at a desk, it kind of bugs me having it resting on the desk surface these days, so I don't tend to wear one anymore. But I do like this, and I feel like I'd probably try and find an excuse to wear it more often if I pick one up. As to whether or not I actually will, well, we'll see closer to the time. See, if you look in the trailer, which I had meant to mention before, you can see in the actual trailer they put out last summer, the first reveal trailer, there's a box inside the ship, just sort of in one of the holding storage areas, that would appear to be the case that this will all come in, and it would appear to be basically what the Collector's Edition is going to look like. So if that's the case, that'd be very cool. It certainly looks nice. It very much suits the vibe of Starfield and the style and the art design and everything like that, and would make for a very, very nice thing, and again, would look nice on the old shelf. So, I would like to pick this up, but we'll have to see, won't we? But yeah, definitely excited for this. I think it looks cool. I'm sure there's a few people out there who are very much interested in this sort of thing. Judging by the comments on Reddit, there are quite a bunch of people who are definitely down for it. There are, of course, the usual brand of naysayers that one finds upon the interweb, so brace yourself if you're going to dive into that. It's something to be aware of. But yeah, still a cool little thing. Obviously, take with a pinch of salt exactly whether or not this will actually be the Collector's Edition item or a separate tie-in merch item. Who knows? Either is still a possibility at this point. But it does look very cool. Looks very stylish, keeps that right vibe, and looking forward to seeing how this actually manifests in the game as well, and how we're going to use the thing and stuff like that, because that'll be very cool as well. Can't wait to get my hands on some more Starfield footage and trailers and stuff like that. Looking forward to that. And of course the game itself come November, which I know some people are suspicious about it being delayed. I haven't seen or heard anything yet that would imply it will be. You never know, of course, but I've got a funny feeling they're going to hit the deadline actually on this one, which is really cool, if true. But we'll wait and see. Maybe time will make a fool of me. We'll have to see. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hope you found it interesting having a little look at that one. I know I did. It's, yeah, a nice looking little smartwatch, that one. So, very, very cool. If you did enjoy the video, please do consider dropping subs and likes. I do very, very much appreciate it. Down below, you can find social media links, the merch store, and channel memberships, along with the links I mentioned earlier, of course, as well. And do join us for live streams as well. We're, of course, playing Fallout 76 at the moment, and Control, and when the time comes, we'll be playing Starfield to death, I do not doubt. So do look out for that one. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon.